Caesar was a man of many greats. From his military genius that led to the conquest of Gaul, his populist reforms that benefited the Roman people, and the invention of the Caesar salad before his death. One of those might not be entirely true, but you know what was? That time he used time travel to win a war. Well, it isn't technically true because it wasn't truly time travel and the war would just drag. To explain what Caesar did, we have to first understand the Roman Civil War. There's quite a bit to go through, so I'm just going to summarize it real quick. In basic terms, the war was caused by the rivalry between Caesar and Pompey, his political rival. Initially at the beginning they worked together, forming an alliance in the form of the first triumvirate opposed to Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. Things would start to look up for the group as Caesar became the consul in 59 BC. Together they formed the perfect power trio, with Caesar having the political influence, Pompey the military might, and Crassus the money. Caesar even had his daughter Julia marry Pompey in 59 BC. He then conquered Gaul, or modern-day France, and became governor. In 52 BC, the Senate, knowing that Caesar wanted to run for consul after his governorship ended, and fearing his rise in power, told him to give up his army and prevented him from running in absentia. This is because in order to run for consul, it was necessary for candidates to stand for election in Rome. At the same time, however, governors and generals couldn't enter the city. Without the immunity in his army, if Caesar entered the city, he would be prosecuted for the crimes he committed. Caesar wrote back in 50 BC, saying that if he had to resign his army, so did Pompey. The conflict escalated, leading Caesar to cross the Rubicon, the river separating Cisalpine Gaul and Italy, starting the Civil War. Now that we have context for how the Roman Civil War started, let's continue. After Pompey and the Senate fled to Greece, Caesar retook Italy and prepared to invade Greece, but there was a problem. It was the winter, and during then, ships couldn't operate as the weather was too dangerous. Bibulus, who was in charge of Pompey's Adriatic fleet, had docked his ships.
Quick facts about Bibulus. Let us laugh at his failures. Number 1. Un cult tried to oppose Caesar, feculast guy around. Number 2. Tried veto Caesar's land builded Gavilan to settle soldiers. Number 3. Ed fece pardon him after trying to veto said bill. Number 4. The Wily Caliph baby to hide from fighters. Number 5. Couldn't even give a speech, was vetoed from speaking by the tribune of the plebs.
It was at that moment that Caesar pulled his trap card. You see, prior to the war in 63 BC, he became the Pontifex Maximus, the chief high priest of the College of Pontiffs, a body comprised of the highest-ranking priests of the state religion. One of the duties that they did was to regulate the calendars by adding leap months to align the seasons. Unfortunately, or fortunately rather, Caesar hadn't done so for last decade on account of him being out of the country and conquering Gaul. This meant that although it was technically winter, it felt more like autumn, and although it was still dangerous, it was still possible to sail through. Now the only obstacle was getting through 4 times, since he could only transport half his army at a time. As he was sailing across, Bibulus noticed and quickly scrambled a response. Even though he managed to cut off Caesar's ships right as they returned, leaving half of his army still in Italy, that didn't matter as Caesar would go to defeat Pompey at the Battle of Pharsalus, driving Pompey out of Greece to Egypt where he was killed by King Ptolemy.
Let us go back to making fun of Bibulus. After trying to blockade Caesar which failed at because he's a big failure, he got sick and died, meaning that Caesar wasn't the only thing that he couldn't fend off.
Caesar's victories would only compound from there, leading to him winning the Civil War and reuniting the Republic once more. Oh, and I forgot, he gets killed.